Ligue, I think that's how you pronounce it.
No,
Marseille, they're bossing it. It's not always about PSG. They're actually top of the table by a good 7 points, I believe.
Yeah, they've been on a mad run. Is it 7 or 8 in a row, I think? Yeah. Which is their best run since '98, I think, under Bielsa. He's been doing a great job there.
He had a bit of an accident recently, didn't he?
He did. Well, he seems to have a habit where he has a water cooler in his technical area that he likes to sit on. And one of his assistants decided to, I don't know if this was intentional, but just pop a little cup of coffee on there. And so he was up there barking orders and then just sat on it. But there was about that kind of half a second where he didn't realise what he'd done. And then you see him get up because he's
He sort of tried to make it look like it was a tactical ploy.
Yeah.
As you'd expect from Bielsa, that was all part of the master plan.
Yeah. And then he started shouting and he kicked the cup.
Yeah.
Lost his cool.
So French. It was just beautiful.
He's wearing a very fetching sort of all-in-blue tracksuit as well. Marseille's colours looking good.
Has Gignac, I believe that's pronunciation, but has he been on your radar at all? Have you heard much about him before? Big Mac. Is that fair, by the way?
I don't think he's
Is he a big fella?
big. It's one of those. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm the only one who doesn't think. I mean, he's not.
I think he's like a big bloke, not in like a big bloke.
Well, it's one of those nicknames that it's almost. He's not small enough for it to be ironic, but I don't think he's big enough for it to be. I mean, there are much bigger players. I think it's because it rhymes with Gignac.
Okay,
well, either way, he's banging them in.
We do have Andrew on the line now. Andrew, are you there?
Evening, guys.
Hi, good to hear you. Now, we've already touched upon Marseille, but are you impressed with them? Is that where they should be? Should they be at top of the tree? Do they deserve that?
Definitely, 100%. I mean, they've scored 25 goals this season already. I was looking back over the last 2 seasons, and at this stage they had 13 goals the last 2 seasons. So Marcelo Bielsa's got them playing the best football they've played in a long time. And Gignac, you was talking about Big Mac Gignac, who actually prefers chicken nuggets, so he told me.
That's good to know.
I must say, we don't, at FFW, we don't help this. We have the hashtag Feed the Gignac, so we don't help the stereotype. But yeah, he's a big lad, but he can shift and he's scoring goals, and he's looking meaner and sharper than he ever has under Bielsa.
And is he a free agent at the end of the season?
He is. Contract's up in the summer, yeah. It's going to be very interesting because the situation Marseille are in, if they're going for the title, they don't really want to cash in January, as most teams might be tempted to, because you sell Gignac. Andre Ayew is also out of contract, then you sort of take away your chance of being champions, and you sort of have to ride it out and see what happens to the end of the summer. It's going to be really, really interesting. Next few months we've got the Classic coming up soon, which is going to be the most anticipated PSG-Marseille game for quite a long time.
Well, yeah, I want to move on to the powerhouse of PSG. And you might know this already, but me and Alex have got a massive crush on Edison Cavani. Unbelievable cheekbones, great physique, very taut. But he's going through a tough time at the moment, isn't he? Quite sort of miserable form. The fans are on his back. I mean, what do you put that down to? Is it Zlatan not being there?
It's a very interesting situation, because in the summer he was talking about there needs to be a change of tactics. I have to play through the middle, and obviously you've got Zlatan there, which is hard to oust him out. But when Zlatan's not been there, he's not taken those chances to be the central striker. And if he sat and actually watched his performances, he plays better with Zlatan in the team, because everyone says, he plays on the wing. He doesn't. He starts on the right when you have your little graphic formation, but he's given all the opportunity to come in, because Zlatan drops deep. There's space in the centre, and he's allowed to take that space up. And it sort of, it goes in. There's a goal against Leon at the Parc des Princes. Luca Dean put in a really good cross from the left, and Cavani goes to the in back post, really good header. But when Zlatan's not there, all the attention's on Cavani. He has to be the man. He has to lead the line, and that's when he struggles. And I think there's just a severe lack of confidence. Anyone who watched him play for Napoli, it just looks a different player. There was quite a comical shot against Monaco where it was a through and goal down the left, and he went to swing for the ball and missed and sort of hit the turf and tumbled over, and it sort of summed up where he is in PSG at the moment. It's becoming a bit laughable.
Edison, yeah, I think Monaco fans were chanting his name. Just to move on to Monaco, so sort of ish this time last year, they'd splashed a hell of a lot of cash in the summer. They got Falcao, they got Rodriguez. This was looking interesting. Was it the next Chelsea? They're now in, correct me if I'm wrong, 10th. And what is going wrong on and off the pitch?
Where do you start in Monaco? It wasn't ideal. James Rodriguez had a fantastic season for Monaco. He was without their best player. had a great World Cup, Real Madrid offer you sort of double what you paid for him 12 months ago, you have to say yes. No matter what your project is, you can't turn that down. And then Falcao, the thing with Falcao, he wasn't that good at Monaco. He was average.
No assists, I believe.
No assists. I mean, he got was it 12 goals? He scored 7 goals in 7 games, and you think this guy is going to be amazing. But when you watch those games, he doesn't create his own chances. He's a finisher. And when James came in and he was creating the chances and he was getting the wingers involved, it sort of took away sort of Falcao's. He didn't look the player he had looked for Porto and Atletico, and he went 7 games without a goal. He was having problems, as you can find on the internet, when he got substituted against Nantes, and he had the look of, what, you're taking me off, this is ridiculous. And then his substitute comes on, Anthony Martial, and sets up the winner. And then he got the knee injury, which in a way sort of saved him, because if he'd struggled all the way through the season, there wouldn't have been the hysteria over where he was going to go, because he was having a bad season. Anyway, with Monaco, the owner, Rybolovlev, has the well-documented divorce case where he's going to lose like 3 billion, which if I've got to give someone half of a tenner, I get cross. So losing half of 6 billion is going to sting. And then there was the whole financial fair play where he saw the sanctions that PSG got, and he's thinking, well, I don't want to pay that. And then the French leagues made an agreement that Monaco will pay sort of 50 million to be able to stay in Monaco, so they enjoy the tax-free benefits. He wasn't expecting to pay that, and also they haven't given them his Monaco citizenship. So they've kind of got his back up a little bit. So he's not pouring as much in. So
can't see a recovery too soon, but more of a positive take. Euro 2016, some fantastic qualifiers of late. You've lived in France recently. Is there genuine excitement about that tournament, and will it have any impact at all on the standing of Ligue, do you think?
As much excitement as the French can muster about anything. It's going to be interesting, because there's not the same sort of thing to go to games in France as we have in the UK. Even the best story is Bradley, where I lived. When they won the league, on the way to win the league for the first time in 57 years, they did not sell out one home game. Playing the best football in France, you've got Eden Hazard, Gervinho, fantastic. Once they were the champions, not playing as good football, they sold out every home game. There's sort of a very much of a class thing. You go to watch the champions, and you go to watch the best teams. PSG only averaged 27,000 before QSI came in. Now they sell out every game. Even Montpellier, when they were on the way to winning their first title ever, averaged 16,000 in a stadium that holds 32. Sold out the last home game of the season when they went to win the league. It's a very French thing of, you only go. There'll be an upsurge after the tournament, but then it'll just go back to the same.
We'll have to leave your prediction there. But thank you so much for joining us, Andrew, and to everyone who's watching. Take a listen to French Football Weekly. Andrew hosts, absolutely fantastic. All right, see you later, Andrew.
Thanks, guys. Bye.